So what are the important attributes of an English school? The key attribute when selecting an English school is really flexible working hours. That is a killer when you're looking at places like Sao Paulo, for instance, where people have very difficult lives, very long working hours, a lot of time either in traffic or, yeah, basically traffic is very bad in Sao Paulo and in other major cities in Brazil. So flexible opening hours is something they value tremendously. Pleasant rooms, modern equipment. You have to take into account these people do not really have a way of assessing what you're offering. The service we're offering is something they don't really know much about. So they pay attention to stuff they do know, stuff they can assess, like what the building is like, is there modern equipment, what are the resources, is there a website, what does the book they use look like, because it's things they believe they can look at and form an opinion and decide if what you're offering is good from their perspective or not, okay? The key attribute when selecting an English school, now looking at total mentions. So the one before, let me go back. Oh, sorry, wrong direction. That was the first mention. First, time. Second, equipment, and then material. Yeah, good support material and methodology. If you look at total mentions, dynamic classes with conversation, after they've taken care of, you know, flexible hours and their surroundings and the equipment, they're really worried you're not going to put them to sleep. They're going to enjoy it. They're going to be able to communicate when in school because they're very tired. They've worked all day, most of them anyway, and they're going to be sitting there hoping to be able to communicate. So there are three relevant factors that are combined when people analyze any given English course and decide what is the value they can offer me. Number one is cost or price. Yeah, how much is it going to cost me to study there? Can I afford it? Or is it going to hurt my other priorities and the things I need to offer the rest of the family? The second one is, I'm not ranking, okay? When I say second one, it's just the order I'm mentioning them. Methodology. What's methodology in the mind of a Brazilian student? Very complicated. Some people here who are active in the publishing industry will know what I'm talking about. When a Brazilian person thinks, a Brazilian layman, yeah, in education thinks, I don't like their methodology. What are they talking about? Well, you will get a prize if you can define it 100%. I don't know, but it seems they're talking about a combination of book and all the rest of the system, all the resources that go with the book, and the teacher and the approach the teacher takes in the classroom. It's things they can evaluate. They can't possibly say whether that kind of approach is effective or not, but they can feel and say, I like the book, I like the way it looks, it's light on the page, I understand the flow, I can navigate this website, I find myself around when I'm organizing the way I study, the teacher is nice, I like the way they look at me, talk to me, relate to me. This mixture of things seems to be the methodology, right? It's tricky. Perception, again, perception. And building and equipment, again, something people can objectively assess. They look and they know, oh, he's been investing. So this school must be good, because they're worried about how much investment they make to offer me the resources that I believe I need. Okay? Basically, that combination of factors is what makes Brazilians form, or what allows Brazilians to form an opinion, or the way they go about forming an opinion about a language institute or a language learning solution. So if we look beyond just regular classes, there will be a number of things that are probably within the methodology view of the thing that play an important role for these students. The top of them is really conversation groups. They like to feel they're going to have the opportunity to train speaking. You have to provide them with that. And theme classes, study groups outside regular hours, online support to address doubts, extra support at school to address doubts. This all has to do with their difficulties and time and missing classes sometimes because of work and what else you can have. And if I missed a class today, am I in trouble, or do I have a way of making up for what I missed? That's in line with those concerns. 4 in 10 people say low quality, and I do say low quality between quotation marks, because low quality in their opinion, when they're not experts, but what they perceived as low quality didactic materials can be a reason to quit. Mind you, there's often an element of how they perceive the teacher mixed up in there, yeah? But they look at the book and sometimes they feel, and they volunteer that comment if you talk to them, I didn't like the book very much. You know, they can't be specific, but they just feel, oh, the book didn't help me, I wasn't happy with the book. And when you go on talking to them, there's often some volunteer comment about the teacher and how the teacher performed and how the teacher used the book, and there was too much open book during the class, and that's low quality for them. I didn't like the way the book looked. So it is important to pick a book, and there is a number of things people in the publishing industry know about Brazilians and the way a book should look like. There are some publishers here who can give you some insights there, I'm sure. Many believe study materials used by schools are ineffective or outdated, and you're not going to convince them it is otherwise. They make up their minds. There is too much text. It's not straightforward enough. The illustrations are poor. It's not intuitive. I don't like it. I'm quitting. As they see it, good quality didactic book materials, what should they look like? They have to be colorful. They have to be very visual. They have to feel what is being proposed, I'm sorry, is ludic, is vibrant, is dynamic. Yeah? We're talking about Latin people who talk with their hands, just like me. Yeah? That's the kind of approach. Regular classes are often seen as not sufficiently stimulating. They like fun activities. So if you can include theater, if you can include music, if you can include a Halloween party, you know, excuses to practice English, to use different vocabulary, to do different activities, people are motivated. They feel they have different reasons to go to school, to socialize. That really makes their day. They're going to drag themselves to the school just because I like it there. There is a group of people there. We have so much fun. And they're very serious at working. Don't get me wrong. It's serious people who make a sacrifice to pay for that course. They're going to take it very seriously. They just need a few things, a few extra things to learn. And they like multimedia support. Anything that is experiential and motivates and stimulates different senses and ideas is appreciated. We'd already gone over cost, building, and equipment as methodology as the three key factors how people work out their cost benefit relation. And I'm showing you now a graph with some very well-known Brazilian language institutes. And this is the result of the question at the bottom of this slide. We gave them a card with names of language institutes, cards with the names listed in different orders. From this card, which of these schools has the best value for money in your opinion? And this is what they gave us, okay? Now, looking at how these schools are perceived in terms of how much money they charge and how you compare with their income. And we're doing an exercise that is a bit different here. It's specifically about São Paulo, where the average monthly income is £667. It's a little higher than in the rest of the country. And you can see the real prices, and you can work this out for yourselves, what an important portion of monthly income these language institutes are talking about. And I'm not going to make any more comments. I think the numbers are quite eloquent, how difficult it is for this new middle-class Brazilian to afford those tuition fees. And what we've done is, on the left column, we did real price, which is the course price divided by the actual number of course months, because there are sometimes 12 or 18 installments, but you're not going to have that number of months training. And the second column is total monthly costs. It includes enrollment fees, support material. So you can work it out for yourselves that it is still a very dear solution.